What's going on, y'all? So we are back. We are back for a whole new installation, okay, of Movie Corner. This time we are doing one of my favorite movies too, Stay Alive. See, I'm gonna have to switch this up a little bit, but because I've been noticing that I've been doing a lot of movies that I've already seen before, a lot of movies that I actually kind of like. I need to switch it up a little bit and do some movies that I never really seen before and probably would have had a different take on. So we're going to do that. But this is one that's really been on my mind, and I have been watching it for the past couple of days or whatever. But it's an oldie and a goodie for me. And if you were to know me, my favorite genre of movie is horror, right? And I'm not talking about like the horror of today, because I really feel like unless we are looking at like the Asian horror movies or whatever, those have been good through and through. Okay, we have it so that, you know, a lot of horror movies that Americans make, sometimes they do make American versions of like the Japanese ones, or, you know, any of the other Asian, the Korean movies as well. And the Japanese and the Asians or Korean, whichever one you want to call it, they are superior. I just don't know why it is, but it just is, okay? They are so much better, and sometimes I just wish that we don't touch it, because you cannot duplicate or replicate what it is that they do. They just got that on lock, okay? It's just everything. So you get that, right? And yeah, horror, like the early 80s. I found myself going back looking at early 80s, early 90s, all of that stuff, to the early 2000s, all those type of horror movies, especially like the 80s or whatever, the slasher movies. And you just look at them and you see how, you know, the way people, the blood and everything, the wounds and the plots and the story and the acting, it's so corny, it's so cheesy, but yeah, I still be so intrigued and liking it. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect much from it. And so, you know, it became one of my favorite genres. I literally will put on a horror movie just to take a nap too. I'm dead serious about that. Like, that's just what it is. I could go to sleep to one, right? So when Stay Alive came out, I think we went to the movies to go see this. Did we go to the movies to go see this? I can't remember. Either we went to the movies to go see it, or we had rented it out from Blockbuster, because I believe this came out when Blockbuster still was a thing, you know. And so, or Netflix, or we ordered it from Netflix. Y'all remember back in the day before Netflix became all about streaming, when it first came out, you had to get a plan, right? The plan was either you could rent out one DVD and they'll send it to you in the mail, you watch it, and then you send it back, and then you get another one. Or the other plan was you get like up to 3 DVDs. I think another one probably was 5 DVDs each time. Baby, that was stressful. That was stressful. I think you could keep it out as long as you wanted to. You just couldn't get anything else until you returned to other stuff. That was stressful. I used to have to sneak and watch stuff. This was when I was turning out to be gay or whatever. Realizing that I was lesbian, right? And this is back in the day when what was it? The L Word first came out, and I had to go back to the beginning, because once I stumbled onto the TV show, I was like in the middle of the series. Okay, so I had to go back and watch the first couple of seasons, probably 3, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So I had to get my own account just so my mama couldn't, you know, because I didn't tell my mom that I was gay, and I didn't need her going through stuff and all that stuff. So yeah, I used to do a lot of sneaking around like that. Netflix used to get us caught up a little bit, okay? But hey, anyway, that's not why we here. So we here because we are about to do Stay Alive. This is one of my movies that I actually really like. I will start doing more movies that I haven't seen before, so I can give more of an honest opinion about it as well, switch it up a little bit. But this is one of the ones that been playing for the past couple of days. I just thought about it, so I just had to buy it again. And you know, it's a fun movie. It's based off a video game. I can't remember if the video game was real or not. And speaking of video games, put it down in the comments. If you were a gamer, not even necessarily a gamer, you growing up even now, where you like a Nintendo type of kid, depending on how old you are. Because back in the day when I was coming up, we had Nintendo, and we had Genesis, Sega Genesis, and then we had the PlayStation, then we had the Dreamcast, then we had the Dreamcube or something like that, then we had the Xbox. Okay, now which one was you, girl? And then you had the little handhelds. Okay, don't get into the handhelds, because I had a PSP, you know, I had the little handheld Nintendo. Girl, I had just about everything. But I was a Sega Genesis girl. That was my first game console. And then I had a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. I did buy a PlayStation 4. Never got the PlayStation 5. So there's that. I'm a PlayStation type of girl. We did have a Nintendo 64 for a second, but we set that shit back because we really didn't like it. Remember the GameCube? We had that for a minute too. I ain't really like that either. But hey, it is what it is. Y'all put it down in the comments what y'all is, what y'all have, what y'all do. I was thinking about probably getting the PS5. I don't know, because I really don't want to get anything that I just don't play as often, and it costs a lot of money, or a good amount of money, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, this movie is based off of a video game, whether it's real or not, and I had forgot that it also started in the very beginning, because this is how it starts off, with a young Milo Ventimiglia. Baby, I can never say his last name. It's the daddy from This Is Us, okay? Basically, it's giving the feel like you're doing streaming, you know, like when you see somebody on Twitch streaming a video game, or you see him playing a video game on YouTube. That's what it's giving, right? And as they're doing that, you see him, it's starting off dark and eerie or whatever. You see this character going into this house, and it's based in Louisiana. So of course I was attracted already, because y'all know at this point, like, I really feel like I just want to get a vacation home down in Louisiana for some reason. I don't know. I've been spoiled just from that one week that I was down there in New Orleans. I just fell in love with the city. And, you know, that's about to be like my second home. I don't care. I'm going to make it happen. But you see him going into this house, and you see all these, it's eerie, it's dark, and he's, you know, just the typical exploring type of game, right? He's going around trying to see what's going on. Then these dead girls come out or whatever, and then you see this woman, this ghost-like figure or whatever, just coming up behind him and all this stuff. He goes into a room, and you see like some people have been killed in that room, and then next thing you know, he's so astonished and he's so scared by this woman that he winds up falling off the balcony, and he winds up, you know, hanging or whatever, and he dies, okay? And that was the end of the game. All right, cool. And that's when we found out that Milo, his name is Loomis in this movie. He is the main character at this point. And it shakes him. You know what I'm saying? He is freaked out a little bit. And I'm sitting here like, the whole time you playing this game and y'all playing in the dark and everything, like, I just couldn't do that. Listen, which game was you really like mastering? Let me tell you something. Back in the day when I had my Sega Genesis or whatever, the main game that I used to play, and I mastered right off the back, and I made sure I did, not only was it that Lion King game, but it was also Batman Forever, because this is back in the day when the movies came out, and then they also came out with either, you know, action figures and toys or whatever that came in like the Happy Meals and all that stuff, but also games and, you know, things that you could buy. And then also on PlayStation, baby, Spyro the Dragon, okay, and Tomb Raider. Girl, I will tear you up in Tomb Raider, all right, and Spyro. I remember when I finished that, I said yes. I felt so accomplished, y'all. You know, because I'm not really a video nerd like that, but, you know, I used to spend hours on that thing, you know what I'm saying, saving it and all that stuff. And so basically what dude was doing, he was beta testing the game. It was a new game. It hadn't been on the market yet. It was called Stay Alive. It creeped him out because of just the graphics and the way that it just felt kind of real, right? Plus you playing this stuff in the dark, and it's a dark game, and it's a horror game, and you playing it in the dark. So yeah, in this big house. Meanwhile, he go around, and he wound up going into his roommate's room. I'm sitting here like, could you knock? They up in there having sex, mind you. I said, what type of kinky stuff is they into? This is how I felt. I said, oh, so we finna be up into this type of mess? I mean, the boy had a pig mask on, giving it to his girl, and I said, girl, you okay with this? You getting turned on by this? Baby, all right. But he was like, you gotta get the hell up out of here because, you know, I'm trying to finish what I'm doing. And he was like, I found y'all in the game or whatever. Y'all got it good. And they was like, we haven't played the game in hours, okay? So basically saying, I don't know what you saw, but it wasn't us. So, hey, get up out of here. Okay, so he leaves or whatever. He goes to sleep. He gets waking up because he keeps hearing the rumbling of the game controller. And he goes to get some milk. Y'all confuse me so much. It's people really out here who like white milk like that. Like to the point where y'all be drinking it. Like people really be drinking milk with their food. And not just like breakfast food or whatever. Like y'all really be drinking milk with y'all food. And you know, let me get something to drink. Let me get a cup of milk. What? Milk is nasty to me, okay? I only can drink it when it's with food. It's not necessarily nasty, but it's an acquired taste. I can only drink it with cereal, and I don't really eat cereal like that. So, girl, I gotta get my calcium other ways. You know what I'm saying? But he drank that milk and he was just hearing things, and we seeing shadows of this and shadows of that. And basically, you know, he's seeing somebody up in the hallway. He running, he's scared. He go to his roommate's door. Baby, they dead. Okay, the same way their characters died in the video game. That's how they was hanging up in that room, slashed out, mess everywhere. Okay. And next thing you know, he was just so shocked by it and scared. He walked past and broke the banister. And not necessarily he broke it. Something came down and grasped upon his neck and basically had him swinging in the middle of the thing. So now he did the same way he was in his game. I said, oh, you know, we would have thought that would have been the end of it. Of course not. Of course not. So we get to present day and we see the main character of this movie. His name is Hutch. First of all, I ain't never came across. Now, see, I've been around some white people in my days or whatever. No shade, okay? Because not all of y'all are bad. Not all of y'all. Some of y'all are really good people or whatever. So I'm talking about the really good people, okay? So if you are one of those, hey y'all. But my thing is, I know black people got some, you know, off the wall name, but y'all got some off the wall name too. Hutch, baby, that sounds like a name that you give your pet. Okay, I said, what is it short for? Hutchinson? Like, I hear people last name be Hutchinson, but for their first name to be Hutchinson or for them to be Hutch, like, what? Who came up with that? But okay, so he's at work, and basically, I don't know what type of job he does, but it's like some type of firm, I guess. And you know, he's really cool with his boss because his boss is a gamer. He's a gamer, and he was just telling him how to do things. You know, he's playing a certain game. What is it called? Silent Hill 4. And trying to, you know, get past a certain level or whatever. Now, see, let me tell you something. I don't ever want to get that close to my coworkers like that. No. Okay? Well, we doing stuff after work. You're not gonna be up in my business. You're not gonna do nothing like that. And I literally just got through eavesdropping. And I mean, I really wasn't eavesdropping, but they was talking loud enough and I was right there, so I was listening. So if you want to call that eavesdropping, you can call that eavesdropping. The new girl that came up into my job, she was talking about how it was another coworker that she was once cool with, but she said, fuck that bitch, because that bitch betrayed her and stabbed her in the back. And I said, see, I can't do that. I can't do that. This is why I stay to myself, okay? But you cool with the boss man? You cool with the boss man? See, I don't trust stuff like that either, because I watched the movie She Hates Me, okay? And he was cool with the boss man, and when stuff was going down, the boss man used him as a scapegoat and messed his whole life up, okay? So no, we ain't finna do nothing like that. But, you know, they was cool. They connected on the video game front. They was playing video games and all this stuff together with his friends. When he was in there talking to the boss, all of a sudden he gets a phone call saying that his friend passed away, you know, and so he had to go down there to where his friend lived in Louisiana. They was in a different city, part of Louisiana, I should say, and went to the funeral, whatever. And then this is where he meets this girl, Abigail, who was taking pictures. Now, let me tell you something. You ain't gonna tap me on my shoulder. You don't even know me. You don't even know me. You don't even say hello. You tap me on my shoulder and you put a camera in my face and snap me like I'm a like you paparazzi. Hold on. No pictures, no pictures, no pictures. That's what I would have been like. Okay, I would have been like, hold up, who are you? You know, she was like, I've been taking pictures of everybody because everybody seems so sad, and they crying or whatever. But see, you ain't even crying, but you seem like the most saddest person here. It's a funeral. It's a funeral. What do you expect me to be happy? Okay, you know. But come to find out, she was friends with his with his friend Loomis's roommate's girlfriend Sarah. Right? She was supposed to be down there at the house that night. He also was supposed to have been down there that night, but he had to work and he was doing some other things. And he told his friend that he was going to be down there that weekend. So had he would have been there, he probably would have been, the movie wouldn't have been happening, right? So his little sister, his friend's sister, gave him a bag that had some of his video games in it. And she was like, you can have it because mama and daddy want me to throw it away because they was like, I'm too young to be playing these games, whatever. And I said, thank God. Thank God, because that'd be bogus as hell if she would have played the game and then all of a sudden she ain't no longer here, okay? But he was like, okay, cool. He take it back to his friends, October and Phineas. They have like this little gamers cafe type of situation going on, and you know, they're real close. And they were comforting him because his friend passed away. And you have Phineas, the brother, who is just basically like a douche, and he's basically just all about himself, you know, to be honest. Also with that same thing, we find out that Hutch has an issue with fire. The reason why he has an issue with fire is because his daddy, who was an alcoholic, thought that his mama was cheating on him, but she really wasn't. And so because of that, he wound up setting the house on fire. And he got trapped up in there. Okay, the little boy got trapped up in there, and ever since then he had a problem with fire. I said, okay, you had PTSD. That's messed up. Daddy need help. I can't remember if daddy died. No, he got arrested, and I think the mama died. So that's why he became real good friends with Loomis, because he spent most of his time at their house because of this stuff, right? And so now in that bag was also this video game, Stay Alive. It's not on the market. It was being tested, and obviously, if it ain't on the market yet, I feel like you shouldn't have touched it, okay? That's just how I feel. But of course, they go over to Hutch Place and set up everything. And, you know, do the peoples really do this now? Because the way they had that thing set up, it was nice, okay? I mean, all of them multiplayers right then and there. Plus, they was doing the online stuff because the boss, his boss, Miller, just so happened to be Miller, he was over there. But he was playing from his job, from the office at the work, while they was over there at Hutch apartment. And I was like, okay, cool. This is nice little setup. Miller, his hair bothered me. He was trying to have this authentic, like Louisiana, probably Cajun accent, and it just really wasn't working for me. You could tell that he was not a native Louisianian. And it was just bothering me. I will say this. I was looking at this movie multiple times. I was like, something about the actor that plays Hutch irritates me so bad. And it's his hair color. I can't tell if it's like a strawberry dark blonde or something like that, if it's brown, or if it's like a ginger type of color. It's irritating, okay, because it don't really seem natural, but it's his natural hair color. And he just looks weird to me all the time. He just really looks weird. And he can't really act, if you ask me. But that's neither here nor there. That's one of the drawbacks about the movie I had. But then, you know, they set it up, they go play it and all this stuff, and they try to get to it, and they can't get past the opening screen because all of a sudden you have to read this prayer out, this you know, opening prayer. Baby, as soon as it starts saying that you had to do some voice activated stuff, I would have shut that thing off, okay? Because it ain't never been done before. And come to me clouds and all this stuff, and then you hear the person in the background saying basically you made a grave mistake. I have a gnat up in here, baby, and it is bothering me. And all of that, and I was just like, turn this thing off before we get a little bit too far. Girl, no, because they game is by heart, and so therefore they're gonna keep on going. Plus the new girl Abigail, she there too. I said, now how she get there? y'all just be picking up strays and everything. But I said, okay, cool, whatever. The more the merrier. And they wind up playing and everybody's having a good time and it's stressful and all this stuff. And then the boss man, he winds up getting killed in the game, right? So he on his way out and he tweaking because he thinking somebody up in his office building, and he winds up getting killed too, the same way he did in the game, right? He got stabbed in the throat with some shears, okay? And so at this point, when Hutch finds out that he's dead, he goes to work and the secretary is like, oh my God, Hutch, it's Miller. And he was like, Miller. I said, Miller is dead, okay? She already told you that he dead. Screaming his name ain't gonna bring her back. And then one of the detectives was played by Wendell Priest. What's his name? Pierce. Nope. Pierce. There it is. Girl, I done went through all the stuff. Let me get my shit together. Y'all know who he is, okay? And I was like, and he's a native Louisianian too. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. But he was there and his partner got on my nerves so bad. Now, my whole thing is this. If he's telling you that, yeah, he talked to Miller a few hours ago because they was playing video games together. No, we wasn't in each other's presence, but I was with 4 of the people in my apartment and he was here in the office. Why would you think that I would literally just come over here because you're trying to say that I live 10 minutes away? That's enough time to come over here and try to do something to him. I said, what? That's kind of messed up. And then his partner, he was just an asshole the whole time. It was giving good cop, bad cop type of thing. But I just felt like that partner was just really an asshole. And that was just his personality. He couldn't help but be that way. You know, he wanted to lock that boy up for nothing anyway. So at this point, he had to go back to his friends and tell them what's going on. And, you know, they feeling sorry for him. But then you got Phineas, who don't really care. He just want to continue playing the game. And they had to call him out about it because he was like too Miller, too Lumen. It was like, you're not playing this game for them because you ain't even look, you didn't even know them, right? And so at this point, he had to go get some information because he's trying to think about his friends. He, the one, what's his name? Loomis, who died too. He wound up looking up his death report and everything that happened in connection with the crime scene. And they was playing the game the same night that they died too. And he realized that they died the same way that they died in their characters died in the game. So now he's connecting the dots, okay? It sounds weird because this is very supernatural type of thing. And then when he gives this information to the group, October tried to tell him because she was like, I remember my grandmama used to tell us stories about this woman because the video game takes place at this garage plantation that was owned by this woman named Elizabeth Bathory, okay? And basically, she was this bitch that had a whole bunch of girls. She stole them or took them or whatever, you know, and she was killing them because she wanted to use their blood to make her stay forever young. She ain't had no pictures up for herself. She ain't had no mirrors up of herself because she didn't like looking at herself getting old and all of that, right? So she had one of those type of things. And because she was stealing these girls, whatever, the townspeople came and found her, walled her up in her tower, killed her ass, and basically before they killed her, she said, listen, my ass gonna be back for y'all, okay? I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna exact my revenge against y'all and all that stuff. And so October, like, maybe at this point, you know, it's her coming back. And it was like, nah, girl, I ain't got time for that, nothing, whatever, cool. And then you got Phineas, who out here just still trying to play the game. He play it by himself, but he don't die in the game. At one point, he do leaves out, but he still see a whole bunch of other stuff happening. Like, you know, in the game, he saw the horse carriage. Next thing you know, he's out on the road and he's hearing like a horse and carriage, but he don't see anything. It gets dark, but then now he feel like his mind is playing tricks on him. Next thing you know, he gets run over by a horse and carriage. He didn't even die in the game, okay? Basically, at this point, the games are running itself, you know, because he was the next person to pass away. And now, once they found his body on the road, and then you got the same detective that was there for Miller's death, the boss death, they are, you know, wondering what's going on because why do y'all keep popping up at the same crime scene? or these recent crime scene, Hutch, you know. And so they tried to tell him about the game and all that stuff. And of course, the bitch detective, the angry detective, he think he know it all. They trying to get him not to play the game, so he winds up still playing the game. And I was like, okay, well, you just sealed your death and your fate, you know. And at this point, October is pissed off at Hush because he brought the game to them. And I said, well, I mean, your brother was the one that wanted to play it. Your brother took it out the bag. He didn't take it out the bag. Okay? Your brother, being the type of person that he was, he did it himself. I mean, yeah, he brought it to them, but he took it out the bag and said, let's load it up, you know? Ain't nobody tell him to do that, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. But I get it. You trying to, you angry that your child, you're the only person that you got in your life is gone. You know, so, hey, I get it. So, after that, the cop, he goes to a video game store trying to talk and ask around about this game or whatever. Nobody hears about it, right? And so he gets up in his car, and the way that he died in the game, which he died real quick, I mean, probably wasn't even playing a minute before he died in the game, he got killed the same way in his car. So now because of that, baby, the cops is after Hutch and them. I'm sitting here like, he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. I'm just like, come on, you guys. The detective work was shoddy and sloppy. It didn't make sense. And then so now the only people that are together or two still alive is October, their friend Swink, that was played by Frankie Muniz, okay? And then Hutch and Abigail. So at this point, they go over there to Loomis's house to try to see, you know, if he left behind some information about the manufacturer of the game, where he got it from and all this stuff. They do find the address and all that. But while they was over there, October was outside taking a smoke break, and they come down and they see that the computer is on, and not only is the computer on, but the game is playing. They not playing it. October didn't turn it on. The game is playing itself. She's the next victim to go. That bitch got hung in a empty abandoned house. Well, it was one abandoned. They were fixing it up, but nobody was in there yet. And so that lady came through. First of all, it's a ghost. She took a freaking nail gun and tried to shoot the ghost. I said, it's a ghost. It's gonna go right through it, girl. But you know, you in a panic and everything, and the heightened emotions, you ain't gonna think, okay? You just trying to stay alive, and it just don't happen, okay? That lady took her, hung her upside down by her legs, and then slit her throat. I said, damn, bitch, that's kind of fucked up. So now they going to the gamer's manufacturer address, right? Come to find out, it's the plantation, the Garouge plantation, where this lady lived at, right? And so basically they find some information where, but before she died, October told her, you gotta take the nails out the whatever and put some nails through her head, her heart, or whatever, and all that, and then burn the bitch alive. That's what it is to end this whole thing, right? So they get up in there, and it's Hutch, Abigail, and Swink. Swink, he used a little deploy or whatever, you know, a little rouge to make it seem like he was about to be doing something to get the ladies' attention and the other people's attention, so that they can go in there and explore and try to find where she's at to take her out the paint. And so they wind up doing that, and at one point the gang said that Swink got killed. I said, damn it, man. He the only one that was truly, really innocent and just really a geek and all of it. You know, I wanted him to survive. Baby, next thing you know, they done found the tower. Abigail get caught up in the room and all that stuff. And next thing you know, that lady came for her. But then Hutch came through, and, you know, he put the nail in her forehead and all that thing. And he thought it was over and done with. That bitch popped up. The actual dead body that was still up in there popped up, and I said, now you know this shit ain't real, because how come that body ain't decomposed already after being dead for like over 100 years? I said, quit playing with me. That bitch popped up like, what? And she forced the goddamn nails to come about her head and everything. I said, see, I ain't got time to play with these type of games, okay? Listen, we don't touch stuff that we don't know nothing about. And this is what happens. All they had to do was mind their goddamn business. All of them. All right. and y'all wouldn't have been up in this trouble. But hey, they tried to take the bitch out. He had this reflective thing on the back of his laptop that was kind of like a mirror, could have been a mirror or whatever. She saw her face up in there, her reflection, and bitch went crazy. Bitch went crazy, okay? After she tried to kill Abigail, he got locked up in a room with her, and he wound up setting that bitch on fire. He can't get up out the room, so now he having flashbacks of when he was a little kid at his house, and when it got set on fire, he got burnt or whatever. But just so happened to say today, Swink comes through. I said, what? You didn't die? He came through and he helped him out, and then they wind up killing the bitch, locking her up in the tower, all that shit. And that was basically the end of the movie. But see, the real end of the movie and the real fucked up part is we thinking that that's how it's going to end. Oh, everything is over and it's done with. This is a spirit. This is a ghost. This is something supernatural. It is not that simple, right? Of course not. After they go through all of this, next thing you know, we see that it's probably some months later, the actual game is back on the market. For real this time. And it's being displayed on all the monitors at a video game store. And I said, oh Lord, here we go. Now we're finna start this all over again. But like I said, it wasn't deep or nothing. It wasn't too much to it. I just wanted to talk about it because it was one of my movies that I always look at or whatever, just when I need to have something to watch and all that stuff. And it's real corny. The acting is terrible. Sophia Bush in that bitch. Did y'all know Sophia Bush is a little gay now? She had a little lesbian drama with her too. I said, girl, what? One of them girls that played the soccer, she was with one of them, and I think one of them was the one that she would or whatever had cheated on her wife or something. Girl, it was mess. I'm telling you, lesbian drama is a lot, and it is so fun and messy, girl. I'm just telling y'all, okay? But yes, that was the movie. And honestly, I haven't really seen any of these people in anything else since. I'm dead serious, okay? And if I did, I wouldn't even know what they look like. But hey, y'all tell me how y'all feel. If y'all want to watch it, I don't know if it's on TV, but I do know that you can buy it or rent it off of Apple TV or whatever. It's cute. It's cute. When you look at it now, it's not too scary. But I do remember when I first saw it, it did kind of get me because I was younger. But now as an adult, I'm like, oh, this ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's cute. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. And I hope y'all are enjoying your holiday weekend. Be safe. Peace.